just cracking up right now. Like just laughing in my head and out loud, I guess, if you can hear me. Oh my goodness. My son's emergency. You guys are going to love this. It's like, Mama, hey, Mama. He's like texting me. And I honestly, he never phones for his stuff. Oh, goodness. Oh, Baba. That's what I call my youngest. Oh, Baba. It's an emergency. I'm like, what's going on? I need your mac and cheese recipe. I'm like, what? I was on a live stream. And I swear, I thought you needed like gas money, lunch money, I don't know, whatever money. Or there was something wrong, like your cat fell off your balcony. Like, no. So we had a giggle. And I said, well, I'll invite your older brother over for mac and cheese and play vids with him. He just had a great time with when you were so gingerly and lovingly setting the cat down and playing video games. So yeah, these are important things in my family. If Mom's mac and cheese, that mac and cheese recipe, by the way, like, it's not that hard to make, firstly, but secondly, Bubba's youngest friend, he's probably like my sixth son. I'll call my kids have sons. They just adopt into our family. So we used to call him, well, I think his name's Manila now, his nickname. Anyways, but it was Riley at the moment. He would walk like this and then like walk right on top of your feet. So we would have a joke. Why are you walking like Riley in the wall? Like when somebody just kind of steers you off in the direction. But this sweet kid, he's hilarious. Be like, is your mom making mac and cheese? I'm gonna only come over if your mom's making mac and cheese. Like, that was the premise of coming for sleepovers when we lived in Nelson. Hilarious. Anyways, good times. So I made a little short video just to let everybody know. It was actually 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. That's super funny in my world. And it's for the truckers to know where to get help, and in case they get impeded on by their mission of collecting donations from the rest of the people, this is no interference. There's a link that you can go and submit, and it's like the groceries group, and they take your information. So it's one person helping out with another person, right? There's no interference. Like, so in fact, it's so hard to find out what has been donated in the grocery groups for me to report on it. It's impossible, because once the donations are made by that person and the Good Samaritan has helped them, then it gets removed out of there. So, and that's worldwide. That's going on worldwide, not just here in Canada. So amazing. This is the new world we're going to, where everybody just helps each other. And money is just energy. It's just energy. So if people have more energy than others because that's just the way their careers worked out or their families worked out, and they have the generosity of spirit to donate that good money, good energy in the form of money to other people in need, it's just like, that's a karmatic energetic exchange that just helps increase your vibration. So it doesn't matter what the donation. I think people are getting stuck in their pride sometimes of even needing to ask for help. There is no pride when there should be no homelessness and no poverty in Canada. That it's unlawful. Go read the royal decrees. So we don't want homelessness. It's very shameful to have anybody homeless in your country. We all know that, right? So yeah, I asked my son how he was doing for food, made sure he got cat food. He's got a water filter. He's got it all sorted out. I'm like, all right, you sound pretty calm. And he knows he's very aware of the 100-kilometer trucker thing going on across Canada. That's amazing. And the other thing I think I need to draw attention to, here in Calgary, on Saturday, there was over 10,000 people. 10,000 people. And you know what the news reported? 1,000. So if they say there was X amount of truckers, just times it by 10. And this has been going on for years, if they even report it at all. I know I went to a water rally, what I would call a clean water rally, probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago in the city. And there was 500 people there or more. We all like crammed into Peace Bridge, had drums. Many Indigenous people from all across the province came for this particular march against what they were doing to many reserves with their water rights and things like that. All of those royal decrees, by the way, have been taken care of. So if you want to look them up, I did the recording of the royal decrees yesterday, and they're on Romana Didalu's page and also on queenromanadidalu.com. So check it out. Anyways, but yeah, they reported that there was 30 to 40, 50 people there, and they showed like 5 people scattered, like they went behind a hill, like peekaboo, we can only see part of you. And only reported, like they didn't even report what we were doing there accurately. So it's very annoying. It's very annoying when you want the truth to be heard. And well, we all know this platform, me getting banned for a week for telling absolute pure truth. So anyhow, that's why I'm going to Telegram. If you didn't see that in the last video, please follow me on my Telegram account. People have asked if I can turn my comments on my Telegram account. Until I get more administrators who can just step up and help me with my everyday life, it's impossible for me to do research and make sure I'm staying on top of what we the people are doing out there, not only for each other, but also Queen Romana. Like, and I'm not saying I love doing all of that stuff, but I'd rather be doing the news than turning my channel comments on, because it's like super overwhelming. Because I feel like I haven't even answered from 2 years ago, you guys. I know some of you have sent me messages, and I haven't even opened them on like many of my pages and stuff. So I don't want to disappoint more people. I just want to be able to deliver the message, if that's what, if that makes any sense to you. So that's where my headspace at. So, but I want to send a shout out to quite a few people right now while we're doing this, and then I'm going to do a card reading. Firstly, not only our guider and commander-in-chief here in our country, but all of the people who sent out the cease and desist orders. That's very important to acknowledge you right now, and all of the good Samaritans who are paving the way and living in their heart space and showing people how it's done, because we all needed to be here for each other to say, no, 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 I swear one day this is going to work. You wait and see. So we're the primary people that are holding the light to guide people across the storm, okay? So hold your light. Don't let people snuff it out. Just think of this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine. That was the first song I sang to solace. Anyways, so I want you to all just sit in peace every day and harmony, and know that there's a lot of people who are already have paved the way, and it's happened. So you can choose to still listen to the vibrations of the 3D matrix that really has no validity anymore. So over the past 2 years, there's been many people to show us how that timeline has been broken. Those timelines have been broken. So just to give you an example, this is how my mind works. Okay, and I mentioned this yesterday on my crackbook video. So many of you know me from 2 years ago when I found out that the lizard breath was fake. Okay, so we'll call this the Greg Hallett timeline. Okay, So many of you attacked the character and omitted the story from what was being told. Every time I talked to this character, I felt a sense of elevation, of like a more knowing. He explained to me how this all works. So I have the utmost respect for his part and his role in cracking my mind open with even more rich depth on the bloodlines, and then how the game, I guess, like the James Bond game has worked. I'll just say the James Bond. So you get the lettered agencies and those types of things. Then there was I want to use, it's way over there, dang it. So I'll use my cup. I was going to use my ball. Then there was Sergeant Robert Horton, who, for me, if you haven't watched War Castles, told me the timeline of how our world was created and how, through laws, the LAW, and how those laws were all shaped, and how Russell and David took part in cracking and breaking the codes of the 3D matrix before. So all the languages were rewritten, all of that stuff was rewritten. So that was there, that timeline. Okay, I got that story. Then Kimberly comes around and she explains this timeline to me. And the old timeline is how it's a triangle pointing up and a triangle pointing down for the old system. And that old system is how our paper money is traveling all over the world. Now, what backs up this timeline for me is I worked in the mortgage, the insurance, and the computer business. So that video was like, oh, I get it. So explain between that, how that connections, when that triangle this way and a triangle this way, when they connect, there is a certain very dark magic on that to unlock people's consciousness, okay? Because we've been programmed to have faith in the paper thing floating around, okay? She also explained how the new system works, like it's like a figure eight and all of that, an infinite sign. So I was like, okay, I get that timeline. So all of these people, and then backing up, the very first person, one of the very first people I met or in this timeline before actually the Hallett timeline was Kevin Annett. I saw his story. I knew about William Coombs. I knew who that person was and what he represented to taking down this timeline of fake monarchs, okay? So for me and my timeline, me as a living being here, I was drawn to these because they were in the books I was trying to write. Like I was actually writing books for 6 or 7 years before I even started this. And these were all in the timeline, believe it or not, all of these elements. So if you can imagine in my mind right now, I see, I'll just use this. This is 5D, okay? This is peace and harmony. And all of the royal decrees from this benevolent, lovely being have been acted, and everybody is debt-free. There are no income taxes. All of that money has been returned. We have been healed. And we're just living in peace and harmony. That's how I am in right now. So I see all the cool futuristic stuff, the Jetsons 2.0. Many of you will remember that from a couple years ago. I'm like, you guys got to think about the Jetsons, man. You know, where we're living in tall structures where we can see over top of everything, and where the currency in our, I'll just use this, like our new technology only works with us and can't be hacked or or messed with or have money go from one point into somebody else's point, and they're all still in the top of the pyramid, okay? Stealing stuff from us. So all of this is returned energetically. Well, when you're standing in the middle of an infinite sign, we're all now in present time. So there's no past and no future. So there's no debt, okay? There's no debt at all. There's no banks. It only works energetically, like me, you. That's it. Energetically. So it's almost like you'll be able to see, it's not almost, you'll be able to see your wallets of digital currency, and they'll all have a little DNA attached to your vibration, so nobody can take it away. It's like a ping pong of information being shot laser through the universe where nobody can grab it because it's moving so fast. Whereas the old information was like, okay, I can just grab whatever I want. We've all seen those movies where they hack, right? And so this new system is built on higher vibrations. So there's going to be 20% of the people in those that won't, they'll go to grab it and it'll be like a brick. It'll be using like they're using those big phones from the early 90s, like the big stuff, the big cell phones. It'll be like that. They won't be able to comprehend. And not only that, it's that their vibration is stuck to greed and jealousy and anger and violence. Well, moving forward, if we're all in this, imagine all the people, a brotherhood of man, we are already in that matrix already. So since the end of May. So as soon as this being appeared, I was like propelled into the state of calmness. This is exactly what we needed, who we needed to guide us into our new future. So it has nothing to do with greed. It has nothing to do with jealousy. It has nothing to do with anger. So that's why people who are still triggered and angry and feel like they're still controlled in that old matrix, that's a fear vibration. So I want you guys to watch something because I decided I'm going to start watching Star Trek: The Next Generation. And first episode, it talks about the 17th letter right there, okay? And it's very interesting. So you think of everything as a mirror, okay? You gotta turn my heater down. Every time it just starts blasting me right in the middle of a show. So in the 6th episode of season 1, it's called boldly go where no one has gone before. Watch that episode. And it's your thoughts are literally your power. So it explains how they go through like this warp speed, and you just watch it. It's very interesting. I'm like, this is very applicable to what many people are experiencing now. Actually, the first 6 first episodes, I was like, well, that's kind of explaining this, that's kind of explaining that. I was never into these these shows before. In fact, I was going to ask my son some Trekkie questions because Bubba's all like, he is so intelligent when it comes to Star Trek. But I didn't get a chance, so because I wanted to make this video. Anyways, I'm going to read some cards. Card reading. I didn't turn my light on for the card reading. Whoops. Oh, that one really wanted to be read. That one like flew across the top of my head. Excuse me. So I want to give a shout out to all you people who are new to the channel. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you. Never watched one Star Trek episode. Well, I got to be honest. Every time I wanted to fall asleep in my former life, I'd put that on. Or David Attenborough. He was a good... I'm telling you. So I always ask to place myself in my higher self, which I believe is my happy aura all around me when you sit in love. So I may clearly see, think, know, and feel the divine messages. Yes, it's because they smacked my channel for a week, and a lot of people, my suggestion is unsubscribe and then resubscribe and then like everything and comment after it's been made, and sometimes it comes into your feed, but they're hitting me hard, not because I want your comments, it's just because it helps you see the algorithm. Yes, I agree. I love how this lovely being stepped up ASAP in for the convoy. She knew that the convoy's GoFundMe of over 2 million had been I guess they're sending money back to people or whatever, because it was infiltrated, just like her Lillowit GoFundMe. The very first time she tried to raise money, there's a whole bunch of people that went in there and made $5 donations and then complained, and that it was like she was trying to steal people's money and all of this, but there was no bank account ever attached to that GoFundMe. So they ended up just she ended up collecting all of the people's emails and stuff of the one who donated the $5. So same thing as here. So if people did donate to that GoFundMe, don't worry, because there's, again, as I said in the beginning of the show and on the other thing, there's a chat just specifically for the trekkers. So yeah. Oh, sweet. I sent you a link to Be Good If You Grew Up with Kendra. Well, I don't know who Kendra is. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to read the cards. I'm trying to read all the comments now that I put my glasses. Oh, I can see. Partnership. Look at this. That's the one that flew out of my hand. There you go. The horse. Ooh, that's about accepting help from others, delegating authority. Jeepers, that's the whole conversation here. The wind fairy. Thoughts. Words. There we are. Heal the world, make it a better place. This is exactly how we manifest that peace, is our thoughts of healing and living in that. I just had said that to my oldest son. He's he was looking for a job, as I said, and there's no jobs to be had. He was in a car accident last April, and he's a very fit guy, so he's not used to being out of, like, with neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain. So he's been going to physio and all of this stuff, trying to get better. But like I said, he just got a dose of reality last week, and it was very hard for him to hear, because there was nothing he could do about the information, because he knew it was the truth. So people are coming to that. So let's just be very gentle and loving, and accept help from each other. I made the News Raven Moonstone group chat. Please don't clog it with, that's not what it's there for. What it's there for is basically, what I'd like is, if you have some activity, either up in the skies, or on your streets, or you're showing your rally in your city or something like that, please share it in there so I can post it to Raven Moonstone Art on Telegram. And then the group chat is probably going to go away, Raven Moonstone group chat, because there's many people who cannot get into that group chat that used to post things like that before, and they've been banned. So let's do a karaoke. That would be awesome. I was actually looking for a karaoke machine at the end of Christmas. I was thinking about buying one. So, but let's just all just be helpful of each other and be patient with each other in where we are in our journey. It's very important for us to hold the light and just be in a calm peace of mind. There's arrests happening, and just because I keep saying this to a few people, just because you haven't seen it with your own eyes doesn't mean it's not true, doesn't mean it hasn't happened. So if you can believe that, and I mentioned this on Crackbook yesterday, that if you've ever been bankrupt like I have, after you've been bankrupt, you have a different frame of mind where you don't have credit, you just buy everything from cash, right? That's it. Well, it's the same thing. Is if imagine those companies owed you money, say your electric company owed you money, but you've been bankrupt from them. They're bankrupt. They're all bankrupt. So they have no right to collect money from you guys anymore. That's the whole thing. And that's what's attached to these organizations on January 15th, 2022. And there has been a royal decree for free electricity and no income taxes and debt forgiveness. So where would you rather live? I'd rather keep more of my money and not give it to the corrupt foreign companies that have been giving it to the fake monarchy and those timelines that we've learned about being broken. Well, Kevin broke all of those with this, or like this conviction in the court. So it's up to us to understand that we've already achieved peace. Many of these people are DEAD from a long time ago, since 2013, many of them, Schmates and everything. So I was going to do a little, maybe a decode on Don't Look Up, because I think that would kind of help you understand that, or understand that ball of that comet that's coming. At the very beginning, you see a little spaceman, and he says SHIT right beside, and there's a comet ball. Like, it kind of tells you how that movie's going to go. But that ball of comet is the information. And many of us in this timeline right now, of We the People, have already experienced that ball of comet, that comet of information, and we've digested it. So the other people have to come to terms and start making the connections. And as soon as you say, anything about gasoline and Schmebstein, I can't even say them properly on here. That's like, oh, I guess so. So, yeah, there's a lot of people who are croaking. And that's another thing that this lovely lady is telling all of us. There's many times she's put on her page what the code words for these things. If they died of the whatever, then they made an agreement to keep doing their thing until they died of CV. And then, so they wouldn't lose, or they wouldn't be mentioned as a PEDO. But you can tell who right now who didn't agree. Andrew did not agree, obviously, and all these people that are coming out as these PEDOs, then like Branson and all of this, that whole thing is going to come flying and crashing to a halt. So I guarantee, I'm guessing, we'll hear about PIZZA gate, and then we'll hear about Schmobama and all of his dealings. Now, I want to make this clear how closely those two people are tied to Canada, okay? Very, very easily. Any donations to either one of them from Canada went through 2 or 3 super PAC companies from Canada, where they could write one big, huge, ginormous check from a whole bunch of anonymous criminals and then donate it to So all of that money has been filtered like a big laundromat. Just think of Canada as a big money laundromat. And then in the meantime, since 2005 with Frank Justra, they've been taking all their uranium out of Canada. So there's many things that have been, but you have to think that since 2017, on those C&Ds, you can see it right away, who has been in charge of the United States. It's not Schmeiden, and it wasn't Mr. Trump. It was the MIL. You get it. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. I have a theory about who's the commander-in-chief for that military myself. Wouldn't it be, well, what's the path of least resistance? That one junior person that everybody loves and adores. Wouldn't that be just amazing? Like, you're the commander. You've been running this whole thing? Okay. Like, okay. All right, then. Who's going to complain? You know, who's going to complain? I don't know. That's my theory anyhow. But I don't know. It's just a theory. These are just my opinions. So, and for the people who think I have any direct connection to talking to this lovely being, I do not. My job is just to literally discern, summarize, and gather information of facts of what's transpired with we the people. All right. So let's just clear that up for some people sending me emails asking me things that I cannot accomplish. So they are not in my scope of expertise at all. So I'm not a very administrative person when it comes to doing certain tasks, but other things I'm very administrative. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is thank you to Ronnie, who is working on ravenmoonstone.com. Please be patient. Then there's going to be some people here who help me with it. So Kat's going to be one of those people and other people, so we can get the information so you can just go and find my meme of the day or the info of the day or Earth News or whatever. Any summaries that I've ever done on Earth News 2.0 will be on that page. Probably going to have a blog spot, you know, it'll have the stuff so I can freely give you the links and the info of what I would post, say, on all of the Crackbook, the Insta, and the Telegram. It'll be right there on my page. So hopefully. Oh, you want my recipe? You're funny. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's super easy. You just make a roux, you know, butter, a little bit of flour, and some milk or cream. Depends on how rich you like it. I use milk. And old cheddar cheese. If you don't live in Canada, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I've tasted cheese in other countries. It's not the same. And salt and pepper. And sometimes I put in a little bit of, like less than a teaspoon of mustard just for a zip. And then I just cook the pasta al dente. That's pretty easy. So when the truckers arrive to board it up, it will hit the fan. Oh, yes, that is true, Arlene. I believe you. So I believe you. I believe you 100%. Yes, I live in Ottawa. Close the hill. This will be amazing. Yes, a lot of people don't know the legislature grounds have been worked on for a long time. They've had like borders around it, just like the White House. And like I laugh because sometimes they'll put Schmeiden in front of like a sunny, beachy looking White House, and then it'll be like snowdrift clouds out there. And one time you'll see a parking lot in the background, and I'm like, are they just purposely moving the set around? Like, which I think they are. So, but anyways, yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Keep your vibes. That's what that whole card reading was about. We need to partnership and know our strengths and help each other and delegate responsibility and keep your thoughts really positive and just manifest the highest timeline where we're all free of this matrix. So Yeah. Imagine all of that. Yes. And that's the other thing. You're right, Melissa. We had to go through a lot of stuff where we had to see certain things being done. And the shipping containers were one of them. So having shipping containers sit out in the ship ports, say in California or Vancouver, where they're not letting stuff come in, or say the train tracks got blown up somewhere, and well, everything has to be inspected now. So all of the ways that they're trying to run things all over the country are stopping. So they have to be inspected. They have to be looked at. And so this whole thing where people are arming together is there's many things that are underlying. So I always go back to the James Bond theory. There's undercover operators everywhere we go, even if you can't see them. So if you need help and assistance, ask your guides all around you and they will help you. It's as easy as that. So, yes. There's a massive hole. Oh, yes. Multiple layers. Rita says, I saw a picture of the front lawn of Parliament and there's a massive holes that look like tunnels in multiple layers. Yes, that is what is going on. So if you don't know about the stuff that goes under the Parliament, the White House, these Capitol buildings, the Picton Farm, um, go watch Norm Traversy for the Picton Farm and all of that information. And if you don't know who he is, he's another person that cracked timelines. That guy's amazing. And he actually sued Justin Trudeau July 1st, 2020, and announced it on the front steps of Parliament. So go Norm. I love Norm. So there's a lot of heroes out there who are unlocking these timelines of where our stuff was corrupt. There is a lot of that going on. So sit in peace as each one of these pieces of information comes up to you. Because some people are very good at explaining, how that came to be, but don't clog yourself with so many timelines that you are drowning in them. Sit in peace and harmony and manifest the new timeline to boldly go where no one has gone before. So, light and love, everybody. I love you. This might be my last live YouTube because I am sick of this platform. Sick of it. Anyways, take care, everybody. Blessings to all. And thank you again to all you truckers. Thank you to Queen Romana. Thank you to the Special Forces and the Alliance around the world. Thank you to the cease and desist groups. Thank you to the Good Samaritans helping out all of the truckers and everybody in the grocery groups around the world. And thank you to all the Good Samaritans, all of you that have helped me. You know who you are. Some of you are so generous, and I'm grateful. I am grateful because it's all about sharing the energy. It's just energy. So don't burden yourself if you have that old energy of lack. We're free of that. Manifest abundance because it's already here. So light and love, everybody. Take care.